Hey everyone, welcome back. 3 biggest turnoffs for women. Stoicism. What if I told you that the same behaviors that make you unattractive to women were identified over 2,000 years ago by some of history's greatest philosophers? And what if I told you that these ancient Stoics not only identified these problems, but also provided the exact blueprint to overcome them? Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand the 3 biggest turnoffs that repel women, and more importantly, how Stoic philosophy can transform you into the kind of man that naturally attracts high-quality women. But before we dive in, if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're building a community of men committed to growth, and I don't want you to miss any of our content. We explore how ancient wisdom can solve modern problems. Today's topic came from hundreds of comments asking about attraction, dating, and what women really want in a man. Here's the thing, most dating advice focuses on pickup lines, techniques, and surface-level tactics. But the Stoics understood something deeper. True attraction comes from character, not charisma. It comes from who you are, not what you pretend to be. Let me tell you a story that changed my entire perspective on attraction and relationships. 3 years ago, I thought I had everything figured out. I was hitting the gym, dressing well, using all the right techniques. I'd learned from pickup, artists, and dating coaches. But despite all my efforts, my relationships were shallow, short-lived, and honestly, unfulfilling. That's when I discovered Stoicism. Not the modern, watered-down version you see on social media, but the real philosophy practiced by emperors, warriors, and some of history's most respected men. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, wrote in his personal journal, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does, but only to what he does himself." Epictetus, who went from slave to one of Rome's most influential teachers, taught, "Wealth consists in not having great possessions, but in having few wants." And Seneca, advisor to emperors, observed, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." These weren't just philosophers sitting in ivory towers. These were practical men dealing with real-world challenges, including relationships, attraction, and human nature. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest turnoffs that the Stoics identified, why they're even more relevant today than 2,000 years ago, and exactly how to overcome them. We're going to cover emotional reactivity and the need for external validation, lack of purpose and direction in life, scarcity mindset, and desperation. Each of these isn't just a turnoff. It's a fundamental character flaw that affects every area of your life. And here's what I want you to do. As we go through each point, rate yourself honestly on a scale of 1 to 10. Don't lie to yourself. Growth begins with brutal self-honesty. Leave your ratings in the comments, and I'll personally respond to help you create a development plan. Turn off 1. Emotional reactivity and validation seeking. The first major turnoff is emotional reactivity and the desperate need for external validation. Let me paint you a picture. Picture this. You're on a date with a woman you really like. She mentions that she had coffee with a male coworker. Immediately your mind races. Your chest tightens. You start asking pointed questions, your tone changes, and you can see her pulling back in real time. Or maybe you're texting someone you're interested in. She doesn't respond for 3 hours, and you send another message, then another. Then you check if she's been active on social media. Sound familiar? Drop a guilty in the comments if you've been there, and don't worry. Most of us have. Epictetus taught us it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This isn't just feel-good philosophy. It's the foundation of masculine attractiveness. Think about it from an evolutionary perspective. For thousands of years, women have been drawn to men who could remain calm under pressure, who could think clearly in crisis, who could be the steady, reliable presence when everything else was chaotic. When you react emotionally to every text, every interaction, every potential threat, You're signaling that you're not that man. You're signaling that your emotional state is controlled by external circumstances. And if you can't control your own emotions, how can you be trusted to protect and provide for others? I remember a specific moment that changed everything for me. I was at a party with a girlfriend, and some guy was clearly flirting with her. Old me would have gotten jealous, possessive, maybe even confrontational, but I had been studying Stoicism for months at that point. Instead, I watched it happen with complete calm. I even joined their conversation, was friendly to the guy, and showed genuine confidence in myself and my relationship. Later that night, she told me that seeing how secure and unshakable I was made her feel incredibly attracted to me. Here's how to apply Stoic principles to overcome emotional reactivity. Step 1. The pause principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Before you react to anything, pause. Count to 10. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace of mind?" Step 2. Reframe the situation. Instead of, she's talking to another guy, I need to compete. Think, she's a social person with many friends, and I'm secure enough to appreciate that quality in her? Step 3. Focus on what you control. You can't control her actions, other people's behavior, or external circumstances. You can only control your response. Focus all your energy there. Now, let me address some common mistakes I see guys make when they first learn about this. Mistake 1. Suppressing versus processing. Being stoic doesn't mean being emotionless. It means processing emotions intelligently rather than being ruled by them. Mistake 2. Fake it till you make it don't. Just pretend to be calm while you're internally freaking out. Do the inner work. Understand why certain things trigger you. Mistake 3. Using it as a control mechanism. Don't become stoic to manipulate outcomes. Become stoic because it's the right way to live. Now let's talk about validation seeking. This might be the most unattractive quality in modern dating. Seneca observed, "It is likely that some troubles will befall us, but it is not a present fact." How often has the unexpected happened? How often has the expected never come to pass? When you constantly seek validation through texts, through social media likes, through her approval of your every decision, you're living in what Seneca called borrowed time. You're giving your power away. High-value women are attracted to men who have their own internal scorecard. Men who know their worth without needing constant confirmation. Men who can go days without talking to them and still feel completely secure in themselves. Here are 3 exercises to build emotional independence. Exercise 1, the 24-hour rule before. Seeking any kind of validation, sending that second text, posting that story hoping she'll see it, asking friends what they think. Wait 24 hours. Often the urge will pass. Exercise 2, daily stoic reflection. Every evening, ask yourself, what triggered me today? How did I respond? How could I respond better next time? Exercise 3, validation detox for 1 week. Don't seek any external validation. No asking friends for advice about text conversations. No checking if she viewed your social media. No fishing for compliments. Emotional reactivity and validation. Seeking are symptoms of a deeper problem, and that's what we're going to explore next. Turn off 2, lack of purpose and direction. The second massive turn-off is something that's becoming epidemic in modern men, lack of purpose and direction in life. Let me describe a conversation I overheard at a coffee shop last week. A woman was talking to her friend about a guy she had been dating. He's nice and he's cute, but when I ask him what he wants in life, he just shrugs. He works some job he hates, spends his free time playing video games or scrolling social media, and seems completely lost. I just don't feel inspired by him. That phrase, I don't feel inspired by him, should terrify every man watching this video. Marcus Aurelius, while leading the Roman Empire and fighting wars on multiple fronts, wrote, "In the morning when thou risest unwillingly, let this thought be present. I am rising to the work of a human being." This wasn't a man going through the motions. This was a man who understood that every day was an opportunity to fulfill his highest purpose. Today, we're facing a crisis of male purpose. More men than ever report feeling lost, directionless, and unfulfilled. And women notice. Think about it from their perspective. Women are naturally drawn to strength, ambition, and vision. Not because they're gold diggers or materialistic, but because these qualities signal genetic fitness, protection, and the ability to build something meaningful together. I'll be completely honest with you. There was a period in my early 20s where I was exactly that guy. I was working a dead-end job, had no clear goals, and spent most of my free time consuming entertainment instead of creating value. My dating life reflected this. I attracted women who were equally directionless, or I found that high-quality women would lose interest quickly. It wasn't until I discovered my deeper purpose that everything changed. From an evolutionary standpoint, women have always been attracted to men who could provide security and resources. But in the modern world, this isn't just about money. It's about vision, drive, and the ability to create something meaningful. When you have a clear purpose, you become naturally attractive because you become selective. You're not desperate for any relationship because you have something meaningful to focus on. You develop confidence. Confidence comes from competence. And competence comes from pursuing something challenging. You inspire growth. Purposeful men make everyone around them want to level up. The Stoics had a concept called sympathia, the idea that we're all part of a larger cosmic web, and our individual purpose is connected to the universal good. Seneca wrote, "Every new thing excites the mind, but a mind that seeks the truth turns from the new to the eternal." Your purpose doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to be changing the world. But it has to be authentic to you and directed toward something greater than immediate pleasure or comfort. Before I show you how to find your purpose, let me address the biggest mistakes I see men make. Mistake 1. Thinking purpose equals career. Your job can be part of your purpose, but it doesn't have to be your entire purpose. You can have a meaningful purpose while working any job. Mistake 2. Waiting for inspiration to strike. Purpose isn't found through meditation or revelation. It's built through action, experimentation, and service to others. Mistake 3. Making it about women. If your purpose is to attract women, you don't have a purpose. You have an addiction. Women should enhance your purpose, not be your purpose. Here's a practical framework for discovering your purpose, based on Stoic principles. Step 1. Identify your natural talents. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present. Look at what you're naturally good at right now. What skills come easily to you? What do people always ask for your help with?" Step 2. Consider the world's needs. Stoicism teaches us to consider the common good. What problems do you see in the world that genuinely bother you? What would you fix if you could? Step 3. Find the intersection. Your purpose lives at the intersection of your talents and the world's needs. This is where you can make the greatest impact while doing work that energizes you. Step 4. Start small, think big. Don't wait until you have the perfect plan. Start taking small actions in the direction of your purpose today. Let me give you some real examples. Example 1. The teacher maybe. You're naturally good at explaining complex things, and you see that young people are struggling with financial literacy. Your purpose might be creating educational content about money management. Example 2. The builder maybe. You're skilled with your hands, and you notice that elderly people in your community struggle with home repairs. Your purpose might be starting a service to help seniors maintain their homes affordably. Example 3. The communicator maybe. You're naturally charismatic, and you see that men are struggling with confidence and direction. Your purpose might be mentoring other men through life transitions. Having a purpose is one thing. Living it consistently is another. Here's how to build systems. Daily purpose practice. Every morning, ask yourself, how can I advance my purpose today? Even if it's just 30 minutes of focused work. Weekly purpose review every Sunday. Evaluate. Did I make progress on my purpose this week? What obstacles did I encounter? How can I improve next week? Monthly purpose alignment. Once a month, step back and ask, is this still my authentic purpose? Or have I learned something that's shifted my direction? Here's the truth. Pursuing a meaningful purpose is hard. You'll face setbacks, doubt, and periods where progress feels impossible. Epictetus reminds us, it's impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Stay humble. Stay curious and remember that building something meaningful takes time. Now there's one more turnoff. We need to address one that can sabotage everything we've discussed so far. Turn-off 3, scarcity mindset and desperation. The third and perhaps most destructive turn-off is scarcity mindset and desperation. This is the silent killer of attraction, and most men don't even realize they're doing it. Picture this scenario. You meet a woman you're really interested in. She's attractive, intelligent, and you feel like you've been waiting your whole life to meet someone like her. So what do? You text her constantly. You clear your schedule whenever she's available. You agree with everything she says. You shower her with compliments and attention. You start planning your future together after 3 dates. And then seemingly out of nowhere, she loses interest. She becomes distant, stops responding as quickly, maybe even ghosts you entirely. Sound familiar? Comment "been there" if this has happened to you. You're not alone. This is one of the most common patterns I see. The problem isn't that you showed interest. The problem is that you show desperation. And desperation comes from scarcity mindset, the belief that good women are rare, that you might not get another chance, that you need to lock this down as quickly as possible. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." This applies directly to dating and relationships. The Stoics understood something profound about human nature. We're most attracted to what we perceive as scarce or hard to obtain, and least attracted to what seems desperate or overly available. From an evolutionary standpoint, desperation signals low value. If you're acting like she's your only option, her subconscious mind interprets this as, if he doesn't have other options, there must be something wrong with him that other women have noticed. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. I used to have a friend, let's call him Mike, who was a great guy. Successful career, good-looking, funny, kind. But he had this pattern with women. Every time he met someone he liked, he would become completely focused on her. He'd text constantly, become available at any time, and essentially put his entire life on hold. And every time the same thing would happen, the woman would lose interest. It wasn't until Mike learned to maintain his own life, his own interests, and his own standards that he started attracting high-quality women who actually wanted to be with him. Here are the most common signs of scarcity mindset in dating. Communication patterns. Texting immediately after receiving any message. Sending multiple texts when you don't get a response. Always being the one to initiate contact. Overanalyzing every interaction. Behavioral patterns. Dropping everything when she wants to hang out. Having no boundaries or standards. Agreeing with everything she says to avoid conflict. Showering her with expensive gifts or gestures early on. Mental patterns. Constantly thinking about her when you're apart. Feeling anxious when she doesn't respond quickly. Making her the center of your universe. Being afraid to show your authentic personality. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Abundance mindset isn't about having tons of women chasing you. It's about being genuinely content with yourself and your life, whether you're single or in a relationship. Here's how to develop genuine abundance mindset. Strategy 1, build a life worth living before you worry about attracting anyone else. Focus on creating a life that you genuinely love. Pursue hobbies, build friendships, work on your health, advance your career or purpose. Strategy 2, maintain your standards. This is crucial. Having standards isn't about being picky. It's about knowing what you bring to the table and expecting reciprocal effort and respect. Strategy 3. Practice detachment. The Stoics called this preferred indifference. You can want good relationships while not being attached to any specific outcome with any specific person. Let me break down each strategy with specific actions. Building a life worth living. Commit to 3 hobbies or interests that have nothing to do with dating. Maintain and strengthen your friendships. Set and pursue meaningful personal goals. Take care of your physical and mental health. Maintaining standards. Define what you want in a partner before you start dating. Don't compromise on your core values even if she's attractive. Be willing to walk away from situations that don't serve you. Expect the same effort you're putting in. Practicing detachment. Focus on enjoying the process rather than controlling outcomes. Have multiple interests and potential romantic connections. Don't put all your emotional eggs in one basket. Remember that rejection is protection from wrong situations. I know what some of you are thinking, but isn't this just playing games? No, games are manipulative tactics designed to create artificial scarcity. This is about becoming genuinely abundant, actually having a full, rich life that doesn't revolve around any one person. What if I really like her? Great, like her. Appreciate her. Pursue her. But don't make her your entire world. The strongest relationships happen between 2 whole people, not 2 people trying to complete each other. Isn't this just being selfish? Actually, it's the opposite. When you're coming from abundance, you're bringing your best self to the relationship. When you're coming from scarcity, you're bringing your neediness and insecurity. Here's the beautiful paradox of attraction. The less you need any specific person, the more attractive you become to everyone. The more content you are alone, the better partner you'll be in a relationship. Epictetus taught, wealth consists in not having great possessions, but in having few wants. When you apply this to relationships, magic happens. Now that we've covered all 3 major turnoffs, let's talk about how to implement these changes in your actual life. All right, we've covered a lot of ground. Let's bring it all together with a practical action plan that you can start implementing today. Remember, the 3 biggest turnoffs we discussed are emotional reactivity and validation seeking, lack of purpose and direction, scarcity mindset and desperation. These aren't just dating problems, they're life problems. And the beautiful thing about addressing them is that every area of your life improves, not just your relationships. Here's your 30-day action plan. Days 110, foundation building. Morning Stoic reading, 10 minutes daily. Evening reflection journal, 5 minutes daily. Identify your top 3 emotional triggers. Begin the validation detox exercise I mentioned earlier. Days 11 to 20, purpose development. Complete the purpose discovery framework. Take 1 small action toward your purpose daily. Eliminate 1 time-wasting activity. Have conversations with 3 people about their life purposes. Days 21-30, abundance cultivation. Expand your social circle. Join a new group or activity. Practice saying no to things that don't align with your values. Set and maintain boundaries in all your relationships. Plan activities and goals that have nothing to do with dating. Here's how to track your progress. Weekly check-ins. Rate yourself 110 on each area. Emotional control and independence. Clarity and pursuit of purpose. Abundance mindset and contentment. Monthly assessment. How have your relationships improved? What new opportunities have appeared? Where do you still need work? The Stoics understood that attraction isn't about tricks or techniques. It's about becoming the kind of person others naturally want to be around. When you master your emotions, pursue meaningful goals, and approach life from abundance rather than scarcity, you don't just become more attractive to women. You become more attractive to everyone. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. If this video helped you, here's what I want you to do. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming content on Stoicism and personal development. Leave a comment with your biggest takeaway and which area you're going to focus on first. Share this video with one friend who could benefit from these insights. Download our free Stoic Daily Reflection Journal in the description below. It includes all the exercises I mentioned today plus bonus content. Remember, knowledge without action is worthless. Pick one thing from this video and commit to it for the next 30 days. Your future self will thank you. Thanks for watching. And remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Start building the life and character you want today, and everything else will follow. I'll see you in the next video.